Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Ekamek. This is Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. In the last episode we actually did a lot. We did the 24-man alliance raid and not very much of the main scenario. I shall follow close behind with Shale. It would be nice if this foray was uneventful, but that would be a naive hope. Better to expect the worst. Though we are taking a risk, the greater danger would be to wait. This time, let us take the battle to Calyx. Calyx uses the people's love for Sphene to further his own schemes. We can't allow him to do so any longer. Whatever it takes, we'll find and stop him. We're heading into a trap, so watch your step. Enter with NPCs, we're going in with all the usuals. Actually, we're only allowed 3 specific people. Wupama will be tank or DPS, and by process of elimination, Grahatia will be a DPS or a healer. Zaktural, the Underkeep. Item level has been synced to 760.
They must have gotten in and made themselves at home.
Aurora's healing is actually stronger than the auto attack damage of this sand cake. Or maybe that's actually Grahatia's regen, I can't be too sure at the moment.
Access hatch nearby that leads inside. Look for an opening. toilet to continue on.
Oh, this thing. Well, that's a big bug. Has it been using this chamber as its lair? I'm constantly messing up the sneaking mechanics for it. The access hatch is sealed off. Almighty racket. Huh? Where's it going? Is it moving along the pipe? Is it pretending it's trying to flee? On your guard, everyone! Tiresome foe.
Now, proceed to the access hatch and head inside.
To think it was clever enough to use the pipes and sand to its advantage. I really need to turn in this first movement school. I don't have any room in my pockets. Could that be, it's the castle? Yeah, I'll give you some help with that healing thing.
Allow me.
battle against the rising water level. Even during the war, the people labored to maintain the castle. It meant a lot to them. It's upsetting to think that Preservation's terminal is in this place.
Hold on. Someone's jammed communication. Stay alert.
Let us measure your strength.
Soldier S0. I am the Soldier S0 of the Alexandria's Castle Guard. By order of the Royal Knights, I shall dispatch all intruders. Releasing Liberators, initiating mobile combat maneuvers, sector by sector. Stand on the side that isn't glowing. What copies? Move so quickly, what are we up against now? That's the side that will be glowing. You don't have a lot of time to figure out what's going on in that one. Remain calm, you can evade its attacks. We won't be tricked again. Focus the move on the following movements. Calling reinforcements. Together, we can triumph. Sector by sector. My head is spinning.
Just the beginning.
combat functions inoperable. Forgive my failure.
That was hardly a challenge, I see. You will show me more. I bid you press on.
Fine by me. If he wants a show, let's give him one. I also found this. I finally found the setting that gives Twitch permissions to turn on AI learning models using my content. You bet that they aren't allowed to use my content anymore. It's so stupid because they don't put it in the studio where you'd expect all the stuff tied to your content is. No, they put it in the account settings at the top right. Because they know that no one would want. They have it opt-in by default because they know nobody would want to opt in. Just completely rotten. Almost there.
You are untroubled thus far, but I have something that may test you yet.
I've seen a lot of complaints about this fight and its expected reaction times, shall we say? Indefatigable defense, Valia Pyrrha.
We still lack sufficient data. Very well. Let us see how you perform against this.
The problem is that this is one of those fights where it won't give you a good warning time on telegraphs, so you don't realize
This
it's
machine
telegraphing
has
something.
long guarded these crumbling halls. twist.
Those things started moving. Stay alert.
Let us introduce more weaponry.
The turrets activate. Is any bear safe?
Let us see what this is.
Neutralize front lines. Get behind the boss. Which is easier said than done because it looks both the front and the back look roughly the
A
same.
new approach to assess your adaptability.
Right, this is a sneaky trick. He teleports one of the explosives. Don't move too. Go for it.
Still alive. How unfortunate. For you to die here, it would save you trouble later.
The turrets activate. And that one exploded on me. Neutralizing front lines. And the thing is, during that, Grahatia will not heal you because he's too busy dodging mechanics of his own. So you really need tank privileges to get through this fight.
I'm beginning to understand how you were able to defeat Queen Eternal. That will do. We have enough to proceed with an analysis.
Underkeep Surcoat defending her.
Alex was measuring our strength. Is that why he contrived to lead us here?
It looks like we've cleared away the machines and beasts. But who knows what else he might have in store. From here on out, Sven and Shale will move with us. Let's find that terminal, but stay alert for more threats.
Before my illness left me bedridden, I used to walk through here on my way to watch Otis and Zelenia train. You knew Otis, if I'm not mistaken. Zelenia was his second in command in the Royal Knights of Alexandria. Oh, how I loved to see the two of them spar. I once dreamed of fighting by their side, so I studied the magical arts under my tutor. But when I was 15, the storm surge broke out, and both my father and mother passed away. As the new queen, I was forbidden from taking to the battlefield, for our nation would fracture had I died without a successor. Though, in the end, I could barely move. I regret that I didn't go out there and fight. At least while I still could. My endless self lamented not being able to protect the realm with benevolence. 'Tis a feeling to which I can relate.
Sven.
Ah, forgive me. 'Twas not my intent to darken the mood. Come, let us press on.
This is one big castle, though. How far does this hallway go?
As far as the plot
you know,
requires. Uh-oh.
What?
What? What happened? Oh, it seems our guest brought company. So this was your doing? It was. We installed a teleporter that is triggered by the presence of the key, you see? Ah, I'm afraid etheric transmissions cannot penetrate the walls of the throne room. It will take your friends a good while to find you.
I confess the Valia Pira did not suffice to assess your capabilities. So I shall try something else. You are free to use anything at your disposal. The better you fight, the more accurate my data. Attaining a precise measure of your strength, that is the most expeditious way to reclaim the key to which you so stubbornly cling.
Ah, noble Zelenia, dashing as ever. These villains mean to do us harm. Strike them down, I bid you. What? This machine is Zelenia! Indeed it is. We couldn't preserve her memories while she lived, so she has been reconstructed from our recollections of her. The endless me being created in answer to the earnest desires of Alexandrians. That I can accept. But to twist the memories of those I held dear and treat them as playthings. This disgrace I cannot abide! Loath though I am to comply with their demands, this monstrosity must be destroyed. Not least of all for Zelenia's honor. If she was indeed created from my memories, even if I cannot fight, I may be able to offer you counsel. So please, lend me your strength and end this farce.
There it is.
Yep. Recollection, now accessible. Calyx's trail has led you. Hang on, I was reading that. Calyx's trail has led you to Alexandria's castle and into a wicked trap. Seeking to take more precise measurements of your strength, Calyx pits you against a mechanical guardian forged from Sphne's memories of Zelenia, second in command of the Royal Knights. The Queen implores you to lay this affront of her dear friend's honor to rest. Make ready to test your mettle against one of Alexandria's finest blades. What a coincidence that as soon as Sphene was telling us about Zelenia, these guys decided to pull her out and pull what they could to pull together a boss fight Zelenia. Now the downside is that, as you can see, we aren't getting... Our queue isn't quite popping immediately. It's taken at least a minute, so... Let's check out other places in Torali while we wait. Zoom out, you stupid map! It doesn't look like the quest I'm looking for is here, so it must be back in the city. there just aren't any healers popping, are there? Right, that's one of the level 100 dungeons. Ibuki, at last, you have no idea how long I waited here, hoping we might finally meet. There is a matter of utmost importance I simply must have your assistance with. But introductions are in order. I'm Zekian, Professor of Archaeology at the Studium. At the behest of the former head of Reason, I was invited to oversee various archaeological expeditions throughout Tural. I heard from a little bird in Volokshunsa that you, a most renowned adventurer, have made your way to this continent. Could think of no better individual to aid me in uncovering its history. As a matter of fact, I have already made a most fascinating discovery in the wilds of Zaktural. I chartered a balloon to examine a point of interest in Shaoloni, you see, and soon discovered ruins which have been unseen for nigh a millennium. Surely Lady Luck is on my side, I thought, but alas, things soon took a turn for the worse. In this merit of inquiry, I hired a group of mercenaries for protection and made my first foray into the area, but we were no more than halfway through before a host of fierce fiends barred our approach. Truth be told, it's a miracle we even made it out alive. Yet for a seasoned explorer like you, I dare say delving into the deep recesses of such ruins unharmed would be child's play. What do you say? Would you aid my investigation and embark on this new adventure? I knew you wouldn't disappoint. The ruins lie beyond the river north of Lake Tauri in Shaoloni. Let us continue our conversation there. Actually, I think I know what I need to do. I need to get to... not Kozmaku. I think there's quests around Wakupalenko that I need to complete in order to unlock the beast tribes. It is a little bit disappointing though, because it's basically throwing away the Disciple of War experience because our warrior isn't high enough to take these quests. Man, this queue just ain't popping. Actually, I think I'll look up what it is that I'm missing here. Tuliolo 1413. It doesn't. The only thing it says we need to beat is Dawntrail for some reason. Oh, that's the quest. Intrepid New Enterprise. Not exactly sure how I missed that the first time round. Blue-garbed Pelu. The blue-garbed Pelu appears to be lost in thought. Perhaps meeting with her won't be so easy after all. My Blue said she'd be around here somewhere, though. Oh, Ibuki, the adventurer? The mighty warrior who travelled the length and breadth of Toral, taking in myriad sights, sounds, and smells, even those within the otherworldly dome. The savvy haggler who helped the third promise acquire a swaddle worth 10,000 pale in the thousands column, despite starting with a mere 100. How would you like to be in debt? My inner abacus is clacking away. You're the missing piece I've been looking for. The missing piece of my brand new enterprise, that is. Sorry about that. I got a little carried away. I'm just so happy to finally meet you. I'm Liplu, a merchant. Until recently, my business was bedclothes, all woven from the finest alpaca wool. My dearest friend Mablu told me all about you. I hear you gave her a nudge, the nudge she needed to embark upon her journey as a peddler. I can't begin to thank you enough. But I'll get straight to the point. I have a proposal for you today, Ibuki. How would you like to be part of this, become a special advisor for a trailblazing tourism venture? I call it Turali Travel Agency. Of course, you'll be compensated for your time. You'll also be first in line for all kinds of treats and trinkets, not to mention a wealth of exciting experiences. You don't have to answer right away, but if any of this has roused your interest, please come and visit me in Okanu. We can go over the finer details there. I'll be waiting for you, along with the rest of my associates. I don't like them. It's unfortunate that my first impression was tainted, but unfortunately they... Oh, there we go, Q-pop. They just feel like American Lalafels. And I don't like Lalafels. Now here's the question, will they let me main tank or not? Queen's Knight, Zelania.
I am Zelenia Triantaphili, Royal Knight of Alexandria, and sworn blade of Her Majesty the Queen. Upon my blade I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness.
You will not defile Zelenia's memory any longer.
In, out. Very simple stuff.
Feel the sting of my divine blade!
I know this technique. You must keep moving.
So yeah, that drops an exploding puddle in your position. Don't let that happen. Move to the side that isn't giant electric sword. This is the basic part of the fight. This one will be in, out. As opposed to the other one which was out, in. Holy hazard!
But her blade mark should be recreated so faithfully.
Double tank buster cone. Don't point this at the party.
I will suffer none to threaten Alexandria!
In, out, while also going around in a circle. Oh, there goes the other tank. Cleavage girl? That's what they call the code, but that's the coating's name. Cleavage girl.
Much more.
I will show you the soul of a royal knight! For the honor and glory of Alexandria, I strike!
This is where the mechanics get messy for me, because it doesn't use standard telegraphs. It can be really hard to tell where is or isn't safe.
No more games!
Quickly, away from the sigils! The sigils channel magic. Be on your guard.
You've no time even to fear my wrath!
Roseblood Bloom, do not cross over the center. She will hurt you for it.
You must brace for blade and magic both.
Have at you!
Oh great, this again.
Taste my steel! There is no escape!
Oh, out of the middle,
Surge!
Okay, now this is where it starts to get to be a problem, because she's going to use those big red orbs off to the side to create extra deadly zones at the last second.
Have at you!
Power brakes, and your left. Roseblood Bloom again. Oh great. More magic circle.
Fall!
Uh-oh.
I know this is merely a reconstruction, and yet
I have pledged my life to the kingdom.
Valorous Ascension.
Have at you! My resolve shall never waver.
Thorned Catharsis.
I am sworn to protect my queen! I will die before I yield!
Alexandrian Thunder 4. Uh-oh.
Forgive me, my queen. I have failed you.
Three player commendations for that.
Did you get what you needed?
You get out of that chair. It's not yours.
I did. Though these figures will complicate matters.
Is that so? Well, if we are done here, then I shall end the transmission. Hold it! If you have no scruples about thus defiling the memories of Zelenia, then there is no way we will ever see eye to eye. You are not fit to be entrusted with the cherished memories of Alexandrians.
I, for one, have no wish to employ the fruits of my research in this manner. It is a waste of time and effort. But since I relinquished my flesh long ago, I must resort to every conceivable method, so long as the hero insists on keeping the key. Why do you so oppose our objective?
Oh, of course, it's my fault that you're such an evil dickhead.
With the key, we would be able to harvest ether from other reflections and bring forth more endless. We could give this chance to evolve not only to the people of the Ninth, but to those of the Source as well. I see no reason why you should reject such a boon.
We won't let you lay a finger on the reflections.
How miserly you are. But unless you're willing to compromise, you won't be able to save anyone or anything. Well, I'd say our conversation has run its course. Ultimately, what you think is immaterial, for the seeds we've sown have already quickened. The people have glimpsed hope in transcending death, and they can ill turn away from it. And thus does my role come to an end. The rest I leave in your capable hands, Calyx.
As a token of gratitude for consenting to my tests, I leave you with a gift. Be sure to take it with you.
Zelenia was kind, but she could be stern. A pillar of strength when I ascended the throne in troubled times. Not only did she protect me, She also buoyed my spirit whenever it threatened to buckle under the pressures of my station. By preserving her memory and honor, you've done more for me than you could ever know. Thank you, Ibuki. You can now enter the Underkeep with NPC avatars. Sphene stands in silence. Shared paths.
Selenia, it pains me to think that you're gone too.
Aha! Oh, we found you at last.
You had us quite worried when you suddenly disappeared. What in the world happened?
I had to beat up a giant robot. You know how things are.
Then preservation's objective is indeed what Calyx claimed. But for them to know about the source and the shards, and to refer to theirs as the ninth, that raises some questions.
Indeed. But for now, I'm just glad the two of you are safe. Oh, right. While we were scouring the castle for you, we came upon a room that looked like a library.
By learning about the Alexandria of old, we may gain valuable insights into preservation. Might we take a number of books with us? So books still remain. Of course. You are welcome to any that may be of use.
If you don't mind, could we take a look around here first? I'm especially curious about the area over by the throne.
This tiara, it was hers, the Endless Fiend's. What's it doing here?
It's a type of regulator, I believe. It contains the data of the Endless Fiend's memories. Calyx likely used it to create the simulant. Which means that as long as the tiara is in our keeping, we shouldn't need to deal with any more simulants. Strange that he would abandon it, though. Perhaps because the simulant already played her role, like she said. Or Calyx made a copy of the memories. In any case, not much information of import appears to remain on this terminal. But I'll make it so we can access it remotely from the back room.
This contains the memories of another me. A tale of her journey as Queen of Alexandria. Might I hold on to this tiara? You may examine it whenever you wish, of course.
It doesn't really look like it would fit you.
It would be for the best, I think. Does that work for you, Shale?
No objections from me. All right, I'm finished. Let's head to the library, and then back outside.
Farewell, Selenia.
Based on the geographical data I gathered, it seems the inner section containing the castle served as a residential area during the early stages of Underkeep's construction. The outer section was then added when they expanded the structure into its present-day shape. I expect the system to dry the earth was installed so they could build a stable foundation on submerged land. I'm glad everyone's safe. The interference made it impossible to locate you and prevented link probe transmissions besides. Apologies we couldn't be there for the critical moment, but as usual you found a way to handle matters. Calyx seems to consider the reflections naught but fields to be harvested for his endless. I do not make a habit of dismissing the assertions of others out of hand, but I cannot abide such callous disregard for life. That endless fiend was just a projected image outside of living memory, so it was a bit of a surprise to see an actual item that belonged to her. On the way back, I asked Shale why the tiara might have been in the throne room. She believes it was being used to record Spheen's actions. There's no way to tell now whether it was with or not her knowledge. But it can't be used for questionable ends anymore, so we can at least take comfort in that. The simulant gave the impression that she wouldn't be back, but I suppose only time will tell. At present we have no further leads on Calyx. For now, perhaps you could take a moment to contact our friends? It would be good to catch each other up on recent developments. I'm certain everyone would appreciate hearing from you. Who will you contact? Ishtola! If it isn't Ibuki, is something the matter? So preservation is behind the recent intrigue. It doesn't surprise me. I'm glad to hear that you are none the worse for your trials, though. As for myself, I've just concluded a meeting with Gosan. I told him about the cure for Levin sickness, and we formed a tentative plan to treat all those who are stricken. I'm now otherwise unoccupied, so I shall take a look around the government sector to see if aught is amiss. And if this Calyx is obsessed with the key, I ought to begin studying it in earnest as well. Alphino! Excellent timing, my friend. I had a mind to call you myself to see how you were faring. I beat up a giant robot. Calyx. Well, something was obviously afoot. I couldn't have imagined that such an individual would be involved. 'Tis well you were able to prevent the simulant from sowing further uncertainty. That said, her absence may have consequences. The people of Alexandria still have great trust in Spheen. 'Tis plain in the way they speak of her now, and in how the simulant was able to win them over. When they notice she has ceased to appear again, rumor and worry will spread. We must be mindful of any pronounced shift in the mood of the populace. But forgive me, it's been battle after battle for you, hasn't it? We can handle ourselves for now, so pray rest up while you can and recover your strength. Yeah, that was really a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Either we leave the simulant to make everyone worry harder and shield the endless, or we destroy the simulant, and now everyone's worried because they can't find Spheen anymore. Aaronville! Ibuki, this is a surprise. Has Wuklamar gotten into trouble again? Yes, but also I beat up a giant robot. I see. Knowing you, I expect you're already looking forward to the next obvious trap. Try not to overdo it. I like those little smirks that Ibuki has when she's talking to him. I'm in the outskirts at the moment. I've been helping the people with their work and talking to those I meet to gauge their sentiment. It's been uneventful for the most part, but there was one notable development. Following recent events, some here stopped wearing regulators. This has led to a disparity in what people remember about the Queen's death, and the occasional episode of confusion. I'll be sure to let you know if there are other changes. Alizé! I saved you for last, just so you know. Yes, hello, Buki. For you to call me out of the blue, is something wrong? I beat up a giant robot. What? You went all the way to the bottom of Everkeep and you didn't think to ask me to come? I suppose I've been fairly busy myself. Pleased to say we've received permission to begin administering the cure for 11 sickness to citizens. I'm actually due to visit a boy named Milos shortly to see how he's responding to his treatment. You've met him before with Lamachi, I believe. The two of you should attend as well if you have time. I thought I heard Alizé yelling. I hope everything is alright. Being able to contact people so far away so easily can do wonders for your peace of mind. Link pearls really are convenient things. It irks me to think we're being led on by Calyx, but I'll do my best to find clues of his passage. I see you were able to reach everyone. That is well. I'll take a look at the preservation terminal. Hopefully there'll be something useful. What do the others have to say, if I may ask? They finished treating Milos, then we have to go and visit him. Would you mind if I accompanied you? I understand he's afflicted with the self-same condition as I was. I cannot help but worry for him. Of course, we don't mind at all. In the meantime, I shall take myself around Solution 9 and see how things are. I share Alphino's concern about the Queen's absence, and even setting that aside, the situation is not like to resolve itself while becoming endless remains an option. I had been meaning to visit some shops, so I shall join crime. While everyone's out and about, I'll try and pick up Calyx's trail. I'll see if I can dig up some information about the key for Ishtola as well. I'll help! It seems we all have things to do. Still, there's no telling what else Calyx may have planned, so please be careful, everyone. Right, let's go to Milos' apartment. It's in Residential Radius 914, if I remember correctly. See, at the moment, my brain is already thinking, okay, so when do we get to the next trial and dungeon? and not really considering how many cutscenes there may or may not be. You're a hunter, aren't you? Heh. You've got the gait. The eye could see it a mile off. Ball or Gore? Now there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Will you tell him I'm as safe and well as I've ever been? Sure, it was a shock when the barrier fell, but what kind of Viper would I be if I didn't try to make the best of a bad situation? I joined the Hunters, put my talents to use in keeping this place safe, till 10 years ago, that is, when my good hand finally gave out on me. Had to leave the front lines, thought I was done for good to be honest, but then Her Majesty came to me, gave me a new mission. Cataloguing the beasts I no longer had the strength to kill, gave me a new lease on life. Say, now that the barrier's broken, is Bol or Gore thinking of bringing the Dawn Hunt back to Yaslani? If he is, could you give him this? Tell him I'm still here. That for 30 years, I kept my vow. It's interesting how they added this tiny little snippet of storyline behind the hunt logs, whereas usually you just get told, here's the log, here's the hunts, go kill things. But we actually do get snippets of, hey, 30 years passed for these people in here. Things are gonna change. Hello, you came before with Queen Sphene. I'm glad you came again. I believe he'll be fine for now, but just for good measure, I'll administer a healing spell.
I once hoped that Milos at least might be made an endless. Then he wouldn't need to suffer anymore. You feel different now? Thanks to Alizé, Milos is on the road to recovery. He can grow up and live a normal life. And I want to be there with him every step of the way. To grow old with him as his mother, and not something else.
That should do it. You're doing well, I'm glad to say.
Thank you, Alizé.
You're welcome, Milos. Now, you'll feel breathless for a little while still, but don't fret. It'll get easier to speak with time. That said, we can't rule out the possibility of a relapse. As a precaution, I would keep him away from lightning-infused objects.
Lightning. Does that include regulators?
It does. I understand if it's difficult for you to part with something that you've worn for so long, though, so it's entirely up to you.
No. For Milos' sake, I will do it. And if the environment here isn't good for him, I must consider moving outside the dome.
You two would be more than welcome in Tulihiolar.
It's very assuring to hear that. If you don't mind, could you tell me about the process?
I'm happy. I can talk again. Before, I couldn't even thank my mother for caring for me. But now we can talk lots. I can tell her that I'm happy. That I like it when she strokes my hair.
Your mother is happy to talk to you as well, I'm sure.
Queen's Fiend always cheered me up. Always said that she would cure me. Today, I'll practice walking with Mother. And next time, I'll go and visit you.
Thank you for explaining everything.
We'll come again to check on you. So if you have any other questions, just let me know. Right. Let's get going, shall we?
Please come back soon. You too, miss.
It's good to see Milos doing so well.
The Endless Me gave him the strength to hang on, and she didn't rely on any special power to do so.
She wanted her people to be happy. Even though we had to fight, her love for them was very real. And it reached Milos.
I wish to be there to watch him grow as well. To make my way beside the people of Alexandria. In the name of his evolution, Calyx has wrought much unease and misery, and I cannot condone his path. No, I shall forge ahead on a path of my own, one that honors the memory of my other self.
Shared paths. Seekers of Eternity. Sphene is in high spirits. Milos is a kind and brave boy. It did me well to see him. One day, I hope I can speak with him about my other self. Come, let us return to the back room, and on the way, let us pick up treats for our friends, a little gift to show our appreciation for their hard work.
Citizens of Alexandria, please be advised. The distribution of neo-regulators has concluded. We ask that all recipients equip their regulators and promptly complete device registration. The evolution of our kind is at hand. Together we shall rise above death and bask in the infinite possibilities of eternal life.
What is this?
Evolution? What evolution?
Those with neo-regulators will become endless, apparently.
You mean there's no more? Well, don't you feel lucky?
Don't look at me like that. Queen's Fiend said there were only so many.
I haven't registered mine yet. The more I thought about it, the more unsure I felt about becoming an Endless.
Well, I registered right away. Anything to stop those terrible nightmares of being killed by mechanical soldiers.
Ultimately, what you think is immaterial. For the seeds we've sown have already quickened.
No more good feelings time.
The people have glimpsed hope in transcending death, and they can ill turn away from it. I see. The terror of their first encounter with death still lingers in their hearts. Having previously been spared even the idea of it, they know not how to handle the emotions.
The funeral was meant to give everyone the chance to come to terms with loss, to grieve and move forward together. But everyone who was wearing a regulator had their memories of that moment erased. And to see those oblivious, happy souls, those who remembered must have wondered if it might not be better to be like them, to go back to a time when death didn't exist.
And now they've been presented with the chance to do just that by becoming an Endless. It's not hard to see why they would consider it.
If this fear of death continues to spread among the people, what will become of Alexandria? The gifts for our friends will have to wait. We should return to the back room at once.
Have I already entered the next patch? I haven't seen that hookup that I might have and just didn't realize.
Oh, you're safe. That broadcast had us worried. The entire populace is on edge.
So Alphino and the others are still out there.
We have a situation on our hands! A civilian has been killed by a mechanical soldier here on Trueview. Wayakwe is on the scene and reports that the problem unit has been subdued by another sentry.
That doesn't make sense. Only someone with the King of Resolve's authority could order a soldier to do that.
Not good. I tried to check the status of the authority but was blocked from the core system. Given recent developments, I'd wager that Calyx is responsible for this.
Perhaps we should go and see for ourselves.
It's me. There's been an incident in the outskirts. A mechanical soldier attacked a local resident, for no apparent reason. Fortunately, several nearby hunters dealt with the rogue machine, so everyone is safe. But if other soldiers were to... Wait. Is that... Oh gods. More hostile sentries are bound for the settlement. I'll try to lure them away and then lose them somehow.
Ill tidings, I take it.
Rogue soldiers on the outskirts are happening as well.
In the outskirts too?
You'll go and help Erenville, won't you? We couldn't forgive ourselves if he came to harm. I'll have Geo join you from Earth and Sky.
I'm coming too. I can't stay here while my people are in danger.
Let's go.
Geode, can you hear me? Something's happened in the outskirts. Oh. I teleported too far. The people here took care of me, giving me food and making sure I was alright. I can't bear to imagine the soldiers hurting them. So this is how it is outside. These clouds... Ah, never mind. Finding Erenville is what matters right now. I don't see Erenville. I pray he hasn't come to harm. Welcome to the outskirts. We don't have much to offer, but make yourself at home. Things have settled down here, but I still see no sign of Erenville. Let's split up and look for him. Ulujaha, Sven, please search in the settlement area. Meanwhile, the rest of us who can defend ourselves will head further out. Hi, Erenville. Oh, thank you, thank you. That was a close call. My thanks. As I was leading the soldiers away, I caught sight of this poor fellow being pursued. I went to help, but was rather out of my depth. We're lucky you found us when you did. Erenville, I'm so glad you're safe. We were quite worried when we couldn't find you. We encountered soldiers on the way here. Most paid us no mind, but some turned out to be hostile. There's no way to tell until they set on you. The ones here also attacked without any warning. If I hadn't been paying attention, it could have ended badly. Hopefully the others were able to escape. We should return to the outskirts and take stock.
Right. We're none the worse for the wear. But let's see what the situation is here.
Geode and his people came and joined us while we were searching for you. After which we happened to encounter Malachite. His usher duties brought him here, and he has quite the story to tell.
It's a bit puzzling, to say the least. Even so, I'll try my best to explain. I was called to attend to the unfortunate soul slain by the mechanical soldier. Yet, when I arrived, I found no body, only a pile of dust, which the wind quickly scattered. Confused, I questioned the residents, but none knew what had become of it.
How odd. Did they remember the victim at least?
They did. Their memories of the deceased weren't sent to the cloud, I don't believe. Yet, no body remained.
If someone took it, surely they would have been noticed.
With your permission, I shall return to the government sector for now. Please take care.
This is terrible. Why would they make the soldiers do this?
If preservation is behind the attacks, I fear this won't be the end of it.
All the Neo-regulators have been distributed, and potentially 5,000 Endless are about to be born. What does Calyx hope to achieve with these killings? Does he seek to frighten people into registering them? Or perhaps...
Oh, thank the 12 you answered. Shale told me what happened. Is everything all right? I see. 'Tis a relief to hear that Erenville is safe. Alas, I do not have good news to share in return. A driver lost control of his vehicle when its interface became unresponsive, and it crashed into the Nexus arcade, injuring several people.
No! What happened to the vendors? How will I get my endgame gear?
Kryl and I are helping to render aid, but with the sentries behaving strangely, we can't afford to lower our guard. Remain vigilant, my friend.
I just received word from the backroom. A hover cargo on TrueView threw off its driver, and it's rampaging through the area as we speak.
Alphino had a similarly troubling report for me. Apparently, a riderless machine in the government sector came to life near a crowd clamoring for Neo-regulators. It proceeded to mow down several citizens, causing serious injuries.
This is a tragedy. We must go and help the people.
Speed, wait! I'm coming with you!
Alphino is with Y'shtola, and he said they'll be all right. I'll go and see if other incidents have occurred elsewhere. From here, I'll head towards the quarry by way of the Drift Downs.
Certainly a lot of hover cargoes coming and going in those parts. I'll join you.
I shall remain here and speak further with the locals. I have company now, so you needn't worry about me.
Then let's return to Solution 9. If we hurry, we can catch up to Lamachi and Sphene.
Fiend's gone on ahead. I leave her with you.
Bloody things have gone mad!
Why is this happening?
Surely there's a finite number of these things.
Everyone, please try to remain calm and make your way to resolution! This is just like before, when Zerelja unleashed the soldiers on us. I don't have any souls left. I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Are you all...
No! No! Why did you do that? Why? You can't just leave me alone like this! If we had been endless, then you'd still be here. You'd still be with me. But now...
Are you all right?
So many hurt. So many dead. This is wrong. This is all wrong.
Thank the 12, you are all unharmed. 'Tis small solace amidst this tragedy, however. The machine rampage seems to have been only temporary. Soldiers and vehicles and the like ceased to operate all at once, as if they had fulfilled their purpose. It's the same outside Everkeep, though members of Oblivion are keeping watch for good measure. The first attacks came shortly after the announcement that Neo-regulators had run out. It can't have been a coincidence. I struggle to imagine that anyone but Calyx could gain control of the soldiers. This must have served his ends in some way. Guluja, are you still without your authority? It's fine now. I'm in control again. We might take the opportunity to shut down the machine, so there's no guarantee this won't happen again. Lamachis just talked with Everkeep's administrators about that. They said it wasn't so simple. The mechanical soldiers don't only serve as guards, they also perform various vital tasks, like providing medical treatment and managing food production. If we shut them down, we'd struggle to render aid to the citizens, let alone restore their lives to normal. I made it so they can't use weapons anymore though. Hopefully that makes it a little safer. That seems the best approach for now. Thank you for your swift action, Guluja. This powerless. I can abide it no longer. No matter how much hardship and loss, we could endure if there was but happiness at the end. Yet all I see now is suffering and misery. And I cannot bear it. I want to protect the people. For their happiness, I would do anything and everything. So please lend me your aid. Oh, Sphene, you found the words I wish you'd said back then. Our strength is yours, Sphene. Together, we'll get through this. Let's split up and get to work. Might I trouble you to report to Shale, my friend? Malachite and his fellows are tending to the deceased. His trauma must make the work difficult, but he's determined to do what he can. Couriers and cleaners are clearing away the wrecks of vehicles and soldiers. It's the first step to getting things back to normal. It pains me that the people were made to suffer even more so after so much hardship and tragedy. But you and yours saved many lives. I cannot thank you enough. It's been a trying day, but it seems the worst is behind us. What's the situation out there now? Leak? You've moved quickly to restore things to normal. Thank you. Yet while disarming the soldiers is indeed prudent, it's far from comprehensive measure when vehicles can be commandeered to inflict damage and sow chaos. For the time being, I'll set our people to keep a close watch on the machines. I also have in mind to consult the authorities about enlisting hunters to our aid. I must regain my proficiency in magic. To that end, I shall seek advice from Rishtola and Alisei. Among the books we recovered from the castle was a grimoire I once used. I hope to learn to wield it again at everyone's side. As for the key, I think it best it remains in your care, though it means you will bear the greatest risk. In order to ease your burden, I shall endeavor to become a capable warrior and make Otis and Zelania proud. I kind of wish that we could just go visit the dragons in Ishgard and hand the key over to them. Here, there's a supervillain that wants to steal this from me. You hang on to it in case the worst happens. No, this is where it swaps patches.
By illness weakened, by wounds unmade, by age decayed. Such fragile flesh is worthless to us. How mankind should evolve, shall evolve. I have already arrived at the answer. The time is come to pose a new question.
Raha and Alphino patrol the city while Vishtola and Alisei continue treating Levin sickness and those injured in the attack. I shall stay here to help coordinate effects, so I suggest taking the opportunity to get some rest. I couldn't fight them, and I couldn't get my authority back when it was stolen. What good am I? I need to find a way to be more useful. Golsan is helping us in coordinating efforts with the administration here in Alexandria. We have to work hand in hand to ensure that the people can get back to their normal lives. I worry about Guluja though. I know he's still frustrated he couldn't do anything to stop the machines if there was only a way to take his mind off things. I will dedicate myself first to healing magic so I may help treat the people's wounds. It will be a time-consuming process to reacquire my abilities, but a necessary one I dare not rush, even though there's no telling when Calyx will make his next move. We've set up patrols outside, so came back here to see how things are. Unfortunately, although we stopped the rampaging of the cargoes, now we have to deal with delays in electrode transport and slowdowns in production. The complications will likely continue for some time. The equipment here didn't start trying to kill me, but it did start acting up while I was in the middle of my work. One of my finest pieces roaring just like that, as if the power outage wasn't bad enough. I feel like having gone for 2 hours, this is probably a good place to call the stream. Okay, so next time on Dawntrail, we're going to take a break. We are going to take a break from the miserable main scenario because Nashu has a quest for us. Wizened testimony. Nashu Makara's expression is equal parts consternation and anticipation. We're going to go do more of the Mandeville side quests. Actually, I was going to do that as part while waiting for while waiting for trial queues, but I didn't think about it. So instead we'll just do this on its own. If we get through it fast enough, then maybe we'll mix in some main scenario stuff. But yeah, as it is, until next time guys, take care, we'll see you all around.